Alright, so welcome to another Cheap Hammer Battle Report. Today we bring you a 1,500 points battle between, again, the Empire against the High Elves. Now, just to um, switch things around a little bit, I decided to use the High Elves this time. And my brother decided to play Empire. He's going to start collecting some Empire miniatures. Mainly, he got focused on that known build, which is consistently more of just ranged units. And I think it's like Hellblaster, volley cannons, and outriders, pistoliers, everything that is just range or you know, how do you call this? Well, cannons, mortars, and all these kind of things, like big range weapons. That's what he wants to build his empire with. So he's going mainly focus on that. So in his list, it would consist primordially of those things. And well, to start, first of all, my list. So what I have over there is a big unit of 40 spearmen, not Lusner Seaguard, just regular spearmen from the High Elves, with two detachments of archers. It's um it's a unit of 40 spearmen and two detachments of 20 archers each. And I put my battle standard bearer, my mage, and I think was another noble or prince over there. So my prince is over there. No weapon, no magical weapons, nothing. Just testing the characters. I didn't really know what to put on them. Um, my battle standard bearer, my mage with high magic level 4, and on the archers that are on the left, I think, yeah, the left. There's another mage that is using battle magic. Is level 2 and a unit of 10 silver helms. That will be all for my list. Let's see the empires list. So for the empire, well, I got the written list over here because we played the game a couple of weeks ago and I forgot to write down what was it. But what you're going to see, or obviously by the picture, you know that we're proxying most of it. My brother is like in the process of um, like assembling all his outriders and pistoliers. He bought like 3 boxes of them, so he's trying to assembly. He's trying to just put them all together as fast as possible. But of course, it's gonna take some time, and I told him to not rush it, uh, so that you have a quality miniature old assembly instead of just a miniature that its pieces or bits are just gonna fall apart each time you bring it into a battle. So it's better to get a good process, like a building process, so that we can just play the game with like killer bases, as you can see over there. Mostly it's just killer bases, but eventually we'll get the miniatures done, and eventually we'll get everything fixed and painted and presentable. But I am in no rush to do that. I'll rather have like play with killer bases for a little bit, and then eventually just having the whole miniature, so we can just uh, get this thing going, and just make it look presentable and make it look uh, well up to the level that we wish it could get eventually. So yeah, so what you're seeing is a Hellblaster volley cannon and a couple of units of knights. I think it's just like plain knights. I don't remember, probably the Reiksguard, and the rest of the units is just going to be outriders. So that's pretty much the list of Empire. So let's see what happens in the next turns. So in this picture, pretty much it's just like we got the whole battle line just set up. Just a quick overview above. This is turn one. We already got the spells. Probably on my side, what I got with battle magic, fireball, some spells of that sort, or oaken shield and fireball is what I got. It's the most effective ones, and obviously with my level 4 walk between worlds, and I think it was also the magic missile that you got in the vortex, so I could just pin their units over there, or I'll see what I can do. So not much movement for me. I didn't move. I move a little bit to the front. I kept the archers within range of its regimental unit, so I could make good use of those 30 inches with the long bows. The only problem is like, well, the good thing about high elves is their high ballistic skill when it comes to archers, because it's ballistic skill 4, so you shoot at 3s, but with long range you're gonna shoot at 4s. So that's something to consider. Averagely, in an average shot of 20 arrows, 10 of them would make their mark. And depending on the strength of the enemy, the toughness of the enemy, sorry, you could potentially get 5 wounds because, of course, then it's at force again, and that's half of your first throw. So, in average, from 20 shots, you can on average, you could get like 5 good wounds. And when it comes to outriders, that's the majority of the wounds. That's all the wounds that they have on a single unit of them. So not counting the saves of them, but also the other thing that I took in consideration was that the outriders are skirmishers. They're an open formation, so that takes -1 when shooting arrows. So we're looking a little bit more weak when it comes to probability of getting some wounds, because now it's only 33.33% chance of hitting, and perhaps in average you can get max 2 wounds per 20 shots. So that's not good. But let's see what happens. I threw a vortex over there. It's probably the one that it's in the high magic. So I remember quite well what is it capable of doing. I think it's the one that if you move through it, if everything is 6 inches from it, if you move through it, it could be considered difficult to dangerous terrain. So any terrain feature that is at 6 inches away from this vortex, and if some unit moves through it, it's got to take a dangerous terrain test. So I'm trying just to slow down troops over there. I did a couple of shots over there, and on the unit that is left of the Hellblaster, and I took off 3 of the Outriders. So it's looking good. Let's see what happens in the next turn. All right, so everything stayed the same. He's shuffling a couple of his units on the right side of the field. He threw a couple of shots at me, and some of my archers went down. 3 of my silver helms as well went down, and he's moving. I think he's looking for the charge, but he's moving to the front. But yeah, on the right side, I did not expect this. The amount of shots that the outriders can do. They're pretty much like a moving turret. That's their thing. Of course, if you don't use them with that build of node that takes away the ponderous like rule away from uh, the usage of their weapons and everything, you're going to move, and you're going to be most of the time you're going to be at maximum range, so you're looking at 5s on a good throw. But sometimes it could be 6s, and it depends. The only good thing is like you get 3 shots per gun, and yeah, even at 5s, 3 shots per gun, then you got 15, and you're looking at a good 2 or 3 wounds, and they got armor piercing as well. You got armor bane, I think, at 6s. So it could potentially be a very, very, very good unit. Um, but yeah, it's difficult to see with my cavalry what can I do in this instance, because I cannot charge them because they get stand and shoot. They'll just eliminate my unit because, of course, they get a penalization for being a stand and shoot. But at the same time, I'm not very sure if they got fire and flee. I think they got it, so they can shoot and they can run away, and then they rally. So that's something to take in consideration when you're about to charge with units like this one, like with cavalry against these guys. They can really easily take your cavalry down with just a couple of shots. And well, let's see what happens next turn. Well, it's not looking good for the High Elves of Alt 1. My main unit is another Vortex cast, right next to the other one. I think it was from his mage or maybe my mage. I'm not really remember why is there a template over there. I think it's another one of those vortexes that I cast over there, or maybe he did. Just trying to stop his unit as much as possible. I used my archers and I ate some of his outriders that were getting close to the vortex. I used the other archers to take up some of his cavalry, but so far not good. Why? Because I still got those silver helms, and I'm just pulling them off the range of the outriders because I know that if I go for a charge, they're just going to get exterminated by all of those outriders. And I think there's a unit of cavalry as well over there, and it's not gonna be good. My archers got completely chewed by the Hellblaster volley gun. It's insane. The succession of rolls that he had with that thing. I think he had like maybe 15 shots or something like that. It was insane. And well, elves are made out of paper, so they cannot stand this level of shooting. But yeah, so that's so far that has been going on. Let's see for the next turn what happens. Yeah, this is another shot from the. This is another an overview, a little bit more up from the battlefield. Things remain pretty much the same. I cast some Oaken Shield. I think this was Oaken Shield, or maybe I cast. That's another thing that to take in consideration. The only reason why my Spearman unit that stays over there is not getting completely demolished by the Hellblaster volley gun is because I managed to conjure Walk Between Worlds a couple of times, so nothing can shit me because I'm ethereal, but at the same time I cannot do much because I need to get in range. I need to get to the melee, but I think this was like not a very wise choice of units because I got 40 spearmen that are pretty much not doing any damage with those princes, and I use them and I use the detachments of archers in order to cause damage. But if you want to get focused, that's one thing to take in consideration, I guess. It's like you gotta check your strengths when it comes to your army. It's like, for example, with High Elves, your magical and range sort of army. In some cases, also you can argue that it's a fast attack sort of army. So you gotta like focus on those strengths because if you try to go for strength alone, of course you're gonna be overpowered by someone else. No, so here's what happens. I went for a melee, a good melee solid unit, but with two good detachments of archers. And what happens over here is like you get a great melee unit, but you cannot use it because it's not your army is not configured to be melee. And the same thing happened with the silver house. Like either you go full range and just try to use a couple of things just in case that the melee comes to you, so you can hold them off and reform your units, and then afterwards maybe see how you can handle the situation, or just use a couple of spearmen as a chaff unit so you can just pin the enemy, let them break them, or make them flee, and just keep shooting arrows at them until you pretty much liquidate them. And that's I would say that that's a more solid strategy. But in this case, I was just testing a couple of units. Mainly everything is core and just basic units, but I was just testing. And of course, if you don't go full range, then you have just mediocre range and you just have mediocre melee, and that's an issue because you're not really like utilizing the full capacity and power of the units that you have in the game. Um, so let's see what happens for the next turn. For the next turn, pretty much everything stayed uh, sort of the same, like in the left side, but in the right side, as you can see, you only see 3 of my silver helms. So my great idea was to try to charge some of the outriders, which is a big no-no. They got completely decimated by the gunfire of these guys, and they flee and they rallied. So if I try to charge them again, of course I'm going to get the rest of them are just going to get slaughtered. His cavalry over there is outflanking me. He's probably going to charge me on the rear, and yeah, I mean I took a couple of shots upstairs to those outriders, I assume they are over there, or maybe they're knights. I think they were outriders, so I unload some arrows on them, see if I could cause more damage. I'll blast their volley cannon again, chewing through my spearmen like they are nothing. So yeah, it's not looking good for the High Elves. Let's see what happens in the next turn. So yeah, pretty much this is the last image and the end of the game. The vortexes are still casted over there. I think they didn't move them. That doesn't matter. Um, yeah, the Silverhorns got completely annihilated. There's another unit of outriders outflanking me. They're going to go for probably my main spearman unit. The Hellblaster has just been chewing through my Elven Spearman, the unit of Rexguard smashed through my archers, and then afterwards destroy them and just continue charging to my other unit of archers, which is going to get obviously slaughtered. So at this point, I just conceded victory to the Empire on some very solid strategy. It's much more powerful than I anticipated. Um, Things to take in consideration. Well, first of all, is as I said before, either you go full melee or either you go full range. I mean, you can try to do a certain strategy in which you can go half and half, but you have to have it very well planned. You have to work your armies in synergy. You gotta work your troops in synergy, and that one thing powers up the other one, and that the units that you put exactly the number of soldiers that you think are going to be most effective. Because if you just throw units over there and just expect the best, you're not gonna get it. Especially in the style that me and my brother got used to play. It has always been very aggressive. We always try to just start up with low points so we can get used to the rules, and then afterwards just upgraded them up and up and up until we reach, I think our like sweet spot was like 3,500 points, sometimes 3,000. 3,000, I think it's an excellent amount of points for all old world battles back in the old days fantasy. But that's the level of points that we like to play, and we like to play in order of course, the units that we have at hand. Of course, yeah, there's proxies as mentioned before, but as much units as we can get in the battlefield, big hordes, stuff like that, but also strategizing what could be the best options, what units can counter other units, what are best strategies, how could you adapt to certain situations, how can you fight certain enemies, etc., etc. So we like to always have that in consideration. Back in the day, um, I used to watch battle reports from two main channels. It was Mr. Malorian that used to play Orcs and Goblins, and Once Bitten that was playing Bretonia and Vampire Counts, I think it was. And what I like about their channels, it was basically the same formula as this one. You know, they just making your battle reports with just still images and things like that, and then just giving some opinions about the battlefield and what could have been done, what could improve, and that's the style that I'm trying to approach. Me and my brother, we're trying to approach over here. Is just trying to, like get what is most effective for the battlefield. And of course we enjoy this style. I obviously respect the people that like to play a little bit more a casual sort of thing, like putting random units and seeing what's going on, or just like showcasing like models. But I don't know, maybe afterwards we do a couple of battle reports on that style. But for now, yes, victory for the Empire. And I hope you guys like it, and we will see you in the next battle report.